On behalf of the college, I'm delighted to welcome you to the Albright Alumni Association Awards. I hope many of our alumni in the audience have enjoyed this year's Alumni Week On Demand 2021 as a way to connect with classmates, faculty, and friends on a variety of virtual platforms, including tonight's gathering on Remo for an interactive recognition ceremony. I would encourage you to use the chat function to share your personal thoughts, congratulations, and words of praise for our award winners throughout the program. This week has been a vibrant celebration of our alumni, including an entrepreneurial interview with Lion legend Brent Hurley, a trivia game with the three Albright founders of the national sensation 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, a networking reception for the Society of Black Alumni, a book discussion on the topic of undocumented immigrants, and a seminar by alumna Kelsey Trainer about the legal issue surrounding equal pay for women in professional sports, and literally so much more. Tomorrow we'll complete our activities with the 35th reunion of the Lion Diplomats, our student alumni liaison group. And we will unveil the most adorable alumni animal. It's been quite a week. I would like to thank the Alumni Association Board for their phenomenal leadership in helping make this fun and fulfilling week possible. I'm proud of their active role in contributing to the mission of the college and enhancing the alumni experience. This year, they have engaged in work of developing a student mentoring program, intentionally bringing equity and inclusion into all our programs, highlighting alumni stories, engaging in philanthropy, and of course, determining this evening's honorees. I have seen the unfaltering bond our alumni have demonstrated over the last year, despite the obstacles of the pandemic. They have continued to engage with us through virtual events, programs, and campaigns, including homecoming, reunions, the Albright Challenge, Ready, Set, Roar, a Valentine's celebration of Albright couples, book discussions, interviews, and of course, Alumni Week. Our alumni know that Albright is not simply a part of their past, but a living and evolving community of which they are a part, and they are always ready to give back. Tonight's honorees are a shining example of this service and community. I'd like to thank all the alumni in the audience who are present to support our award recipients, even on a Saturday night in front of a computer screen. I also want to recognize the parents and family members here tonight. After all, you have been a part of the Albright family from the first day that you brought your then student to campus. You encouraged and motivated them throughout their Albright career and made it possible for them to complete their education. You are a part of our family of Lions as well. The Alumni and Donor Engagement Office takes great pride in serving our alumni and witnessing your participation. It is particularly rewarding to serve in our roles as our first alma mater president leads the college, a president who is particularly proud of her own Albright legacy. It's always a great day to be a Lion, but especially tonight. Now it's my pleasure to introduce another proud alum who lives his connection to his alma mater every day. Alumni Association Board President, Sean Crossley, class of 2011. Take it away, Sean.
Thanks, Ralia. Good evening and a warm spring welcome to tonight's honor guests, as well as President Fetro, college administration, and faculty members, former alumni, award recipients, fellow alumni and friends of Albright College. Ralia, I agree. I love it when President Fetro says it's a great day to be a Lion. I certainly agree with that today, but especially over this past week, as you mentioned, we had so many great virtual Alumni Week events. There's been such a diverse schedule of events to educate, inspire, and connect us. So I want to give a huge shout out to the Alumni and Donor Engagement Office for all of their efforts to put on such a great week of programming. I'm sure I'll miss a few, but want to thank Dawn Geringer, class 2010, Stephen Thomas, class 2014, and of course, Raleigh Redaxa's class of 1987. On behalf of the Albright College Alumni Association, thank you for tuning in to recognize outstanding Albrightians during, I think it's our first virtual Alumni Awards ceremony. So many alumni and friends are with us today to celebrate our college, and I'd like to take a moment to especially acknowledge a few, particularly our distinguished past Alumni Award recipients. I think I saw Jean and Vivian Allenbach, both class of 1964, who won the Jacob Albright Award last year. I didn't get to talk to Mike Race, but I think he was on the list, class of 1986. He won the Mary Frygood Service Alma Mater Award 2 years ago. Tom Williams, class of, who won the Distinguished Alumni in 1989, class of 1982, I believe. Dr. Sharnita Ziegler-Johnson, class of 1992, who won the Distinguished Alumni Award in 2016. And of course, I can't forget our own president, President Fetro, class of 1982, who won the Distinguished Alumni Award in 2010. I'd also like to acknowledge our thoughtful Alumni Association board members who are representing classmates both near and far. On the list tonight, we have Vince, class of 1989, Vince Bucelato, Brad Ehrman, class of 1993, Victoria Farino, class of 2014, Julia Miller, class of 2013, Mike Reese, again, class of 1986, and Tracy Shire, class of 1987. And I'd also like to spotlight the members of the Alumni Association Awards Subcommittee, Victoria, Julia, and Mike, who had the difficult task of sifting through a slate of amazing nominees to select tonight's awardees. Thank you all so much. Now it gives me great pleasure to next introduce one of our most distinguished alumni, whose Albright journey began in September of 1978, when she arrived on campus as a new student. Almost 4 decades later, after an exciting career in biotechnology and higher education, she returned to lead the college into a new era. Please welcome our Albright College president, Dr. Jacqueline Fetro, class of 1982.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sean. It is really wonderful to see you all tonight. I must say hello, fellow alumni and friends of Albright College. I am so pleased that you were able to join us tonight. And even though the mingling took a little bit to get used to for people like my age, it was really fun to be able to wander around and talk to so many of you. I hope that you've enjoyed the many online programs and then events that have taken place on this extended Alumni Week. It's hard to believe that over 300 Albright alumni joined us. So many of them joined us from across the country and even other parts of the world. And did you see the 25 alumni who participated in a video called Albright Is? And they gave voice to what Albright College, our alma mater, means to them. Check it out. It's really great to see and makes me even prouder to be an Albright Lion. I'm excited to be here this evening. As Raleigh and Sean have said, it is always a fun and a special evening to honor and celebrate our most successful alumni. And tonight, we celebrate these Albright Lions who have accomplished so very much. Andrew Hollitz, Tom Chaves, Ben Franco, Rob Johnson, William Young, and Tiff Archie. You will learn more about each of these fine alumni later in the program. For now, I want to offer my congratulations to each and every one of you and celebrate your accomplishments and your commitment to your communities. So here we are, over 1 year into the pandemic. We've moved beyond Zoom into this platform called Remo. Vaccines are rolling out and we're beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And yet here we are in the middle of a 4th surge of infections in the United States and Pennsylvania, and even here in Berks County. And at some point, we begin to think, is this pandemic ever going to end? Perhaps like many of you over the last year, I have found myself in a deficit mindset. What have we lost? What have we not been able to do? And I am guessing that so many of us think the same things. But in the last couple of months, I've been turning my focus a little more positive, thinking more about what have we learned, what have we accomplished, and what are we going to be able to take forward that will improve our futures. And as my mindset has turned positive, I realize how much we at Albright College have accomplished and how much we have to be proud of during this past year. Let's start with our comprehensive 10-year strategic vision for the college, which was endorsed by our trustees and our faculty in February 2020, as just before the pandemic was declared a pandemic and became our new reality. This strategic vision sets forth a series of themes that provide a framework as we strive to meet our 10-year goal. And this goal states that in 2030, we envision that Albright College will have a national reputation for closing the gap on education of all students of academic promise, for students who earn an affordable and high quality education with a strong liberal arts foundation, who are prepared to enter the workforce, who experience significant socioeconomic mobility, and who are prepared to hold fulfilling jobs across all student demographics, a goal truly committed to inclusivity and equity. And you might think, okay, then the pandemic arrives and you put the strategic vision on hold, but we have not done that. And while we have been neck deep and even head deep in new pandemic safety protocols, finding creative ways for Albrightians to feel connected while also being socially distanced, we also got to work this past year on creating our annual goals and metrics. This is how we're going to measure the progress as we move our strategic vision forward. This year's goals included an active commitment to inclusivity and equity, improving retention and student success, care of our employees, expansion of alternative revenue streams, and as I'm sure many of you will be happy to hear, the continuation of the plan to build a new library. And we have made progress in each and every one of these areas. I think one of the things that I'm most proud of during this pandemic, unlike so many institutions of higher education, our employees have been fully employed. We've had to do no layoffs and no furloughs for the entire pandemic. So with our 2030 strategic vision as our guiding star, our college is not just surviving, but we are thriving and moving forward. Let me share with you a few highlights. First, last year, Albright acquired the Science Research Institute right before the pandemic hit. If you're from Berks County, you'll probably know that this distinctive program is bringing new visibility, new markets, and new students to our campus. Even during the pandemic, the Science Research Institute has expanded programming and identified new revenue sources to meet student needs. And I'll give a shout out to Viv and Jean Allenbach because their granddaughter is the second employee of Science Research Institute and helping to lead this program forward. Just this past week, the Pennsylvania State Department of Education announced that Albright and the Science Research Institute had earned a nearly $500,000 grant to expand access to computer science and STEM education for Pennsylvania students. $500,000 is definitely a cause for celebration. And I invite you, if you don't know much about the Science Research Institute, check out the video on YouTube, a video interview of Associate Dean Adele Shade, the founder of the Science Research Institute. The interview was done by Rob Galter, Albright alumnus, class of 1988, and you can find that video on YouTube. Second, so many of you will be happy to know about our beloved library. With the help of donors and the support of the state of Pennsylvania, the library will become an academic center designed to foster a vibrant intellectual and cultural life on our Albright campus. This new Student Success Commons and Library will be the space for new ways of learning, teaching, studying, and researching to support student and faculty success in the 21st century. I think one of the really great things is that all key offices and advocates for student success will be under one roof. So even if students don't know where to start, the Academic Learning Center, the Writing Center, the Experiential Learning and Career Development Center, the Student Success Offices, tutoring, academic coaching, reference librarians, and accessibility services will all be in that building, in the same space that offers flexible studying, meeting, and research spaces, as well as books. This past year, we bid and hired an architectural and engineering firm, and that team worked to develop an external look and feel that has now gone through 3 rounds of review and is almost into completion. They're now working on interior design and layout, and pending completion of all of our fundraising, and if all things go as planned, we should be tearing down that facade this coming summer, and we will have a new Student Success Commons and library by fall 2022. That goal has been a long time coming, but we are moving forward on it. And even during the pandemic, we have continued to increase our revenue, diversify our revenue streams, and hold our expenses flat. And these efforts have allowed us to emerge towards the ends of this academic year in a much better position than we projected at the beginning of the year. And so we celebrate the commitment of our alumni, as 353 alumni broke records and recently made contributions during the 1-week Albright Challenge, helping us raise over $160,000. Yes, that's $160,000, 353 alumni, a resounding declaration that our alumni believe in our alma mater's future. And for that, I am extremely grateful. And last but certainly not least, we celebrate that we have continued to educate, house, and support our Albright students during this pandemic, a feat that would not have been possible without the Albright's Pandemic Planning Task Force, a cross-functional team of faculty, staff, administrators, and students who began their work before the world even decided to admit that a pandemic was actually existing. They started their work last January, over a year ago. And under their able guidance, Albright has maintained a safe and healthy residential college experience for our students. Through our Community Care Compact, constant communication and monitoring, our own internal contact tracing, and the commitment of every single person in our community, we have kept our communities safe with only a few spikes of infections that were quickly contained. As alumni, you already know that our faculty are amazing, and during the pandemic, they abruptly shifted gears to move classes online when the governor required us to do so. They did that in 1 week. And then over last summer, they worked to create different course modes, some face-to-face, some hybrid, some fully online, so that we could accommodate both the government requirements and the needs of our students. So many of our amazing Albright faculty did this hard work with intentionality and to good results. And our Title III Student Success Team, the Teaching and Learning Center, the Academic Learning Center, the Writing Center, they shifted into high gear, offering workshops and trainings and one-on-one sessions to meet the student needs for all this technology we were using to help them to learn. And with our Lifting Up Lions funding, supported by so many of you, our wonderful alumni, we've been able to provide students with the tools they needed to support their educational work during this pandemic, including laptops, books, and other items to ensure their academic success. And our outcomes showed the results. Despite the pandemic, the semester-to-semester retention is as high as it has been in many years. I hope you are as proud of our shared alma mater as I am. We are making progress towards our 2030 strategic goal, and we are intentionally living our mission. I especially want to thank the many of you who have contributed in countless ways to the vibrancy of our community and the success of our students, even during the pandemic, by taking part virtually in class presentations, business, science, and law forums, panels, and networking events over the last year. You have supported our students towards achieving their learning and career goals. We're so very proud of you, our graduates. Hearing your stories and the success and connection that you feel between who you are now and your time at Albright are quite literally why we do what we do. Again, welcome to tonight's celebration. And thank you for joining us to celebrate these amazingly successful Albright alumni. It is indeed and always a great day to be a Lion. And without further ado, I'd like to return the stage to Sean Crosley, class of 2011, who has the honor of telling us all about tonight's award winners. Sean.
Thanks, Jackie. Wow, that's a lot of amazing accomplishments for Albright, especially during a pandemic. Before we begin our awards recognition this evening, I'd like to introduce a musical performance by Albright's concert choir for us all to enjoy. The piece is called The Color Purple, from the musical by the same name, and features a solo by Albright alumna Miranda Holiday, class of 2020, now studying at NYU. Please sit back and prepare to be inspired.
Dear God, dear stars, dear trees, dear sky, dear peoples, dear everything, dear God. God is inside me and everything else that was or ever will be. I came into this world with God, and when I finally looked inside, I found it just as close as my breath is to me, rising like the sun is the hope that sets us free. Your heartbeat makes my heart beat, and when we share like a weight of hope, like a honey, like a waterfall, all a part of me, like the color purple. Where the winds come from, and my eyes are open. Look what God has done. Take a grain of love to grow that mighty tree, and the smallest voice to make a heart beat. Take a drop of water, make the river high. There are miracles for you like a plate of corn, like a honeybee, like a waterfall, all a part of me. The color purple, where the wind come from. My eyes are open. Look what God has done. I don't think us feel old at all. I think this is the youngest we ever felt. Yes. Men.
wow. It's crazy how you can still get goosebumps even from a virtual performance, and just seeing all the things in the chat. I mean, I agree. That was beautiful, breathtaking, wonderful, really lovely. And thank you to the Albright Cons Choir and Miranda. That was just amazing, right? I'm sure we all really applaud our students. Not only are they talented, but also have demonstrated incredible resilience and continuing to rehearse and perform under these social distancing conditions. So yeah, what a great performance. And I'm sure we all cannot wait to be back on campus soon to hear amazing concerts like these in person. All right. Wish we could do a virtual drum roll. Now the moment we've all been waiting for to celebrate tonight's honored alumni. I am delighted to have the privilege of recognizing remarkable graduates who have truly made their alma mater proud. Our first award this evening is the Young Alumni Achievement Award. Presented to an alum who is 35 years of age or younger, the award recognizes outstanding achievement in at least one of the following areas: profession, career, or dedicated volunteer to Albright, church, or community. Andrew Hollitz, class of 2006, is a nonprofit community leader focused on addressing inequity in underserved populations. He presently works as a school administrator at the Waldorf School of San Diego, and previously as a CEO at Pro Kids, the First Tee of San Diego, a nonprofit organization serving opportunity youth with life skills and character development programming through education, scholarships, and the game of golf. He also worked in fund development and community outreach with the YMCA in Philadelphia and San Diego. Hollitz, who grew up in Whitehall, Pennsylvania, painted over 250 Albright College dormitory rooms. That's a lot. Following graduation, while awaiting the start of his service in the Peace Corps. His Peace Corps service took place in the Republic of Kazakhstan as an organizational and community development program volunteer. And he worked in military communities in Germany with the Department of Defense as well. He has studied at the University of Pennsylvania Fels Institute of Government and holds a graduate degree in nonprofit leadership and management from the University of San Diego's School of Leadership and Educational Sciences. He has worked in the nonprofit sector for more than a decade, where the majority of his work occurs in the urban communities of San Diego, focusing on access to opportunity and higher education for underserved youth, predominantly for first-generation, refugee, and military households. Hollitz is also co-founder of the Students of Service Foundation, which addresses student loan debt for individuals pursuing careers in public service career fields. While student at Albright, Hollitz loved the community of Lions, serving as Archon and Philanthropy Chair of Pi Kappa Phi Fraternity, cartoonist, news editor, and contributor of The Albrightian, DJ and sports director at WXAC, and as a member of the Maine Men and Pi Sigma Alpha Political Science Fraternity. Hollitz enjoys running and spending time with his wife, Jennifer Lancer Hollitz, also an alumni, class of 2007, and their 2 children. They reside in San Diego, California. Congratulations on your Young Alumni Achievement Award, Andrew. Andrew, would you like to say a few words?
Very honored to be with you all in spirit and in sight tonight, and very grateful to be the recipient of this award. It's notable that our college acknowledges achievement via service to community. Such a thing feels encouraging and refreshing. And I actually remain just as joyful and optimistic as I was at 19 years old when I first came to Albright, bounding past the CAF and the library until I reached Teal Hall and swung open the doors to discuss public health policy or campaign polling or debate the merits of microcredit. And since then, I've been fortunate to pursue and prosper through serving others, whether in Peace Corps abroad or here in the US and San Diego, predominantly with underserved youth and various nonprofit endeavors. Now, most of my work focuses on tackling systems and services that could and should improve the quality of life for everyone, typically through educational access. And that that feels like pretty great work most days. And again, this award feels like a reminder that serving others can be a calling anyone can heed, clearly. So I'm lucky to be part of some of these conversations, and I feel thankful for the environment that I had at Albright that continues to help me understand the world around me in a better way that doesn't devolve into binary viewpoints. Inside and outside of the classroom, it seemed clear that we should bring our best intellectual and best emotional energy to help and include others. We were supposed to do this last year, but this has been a hard year. I feel for anyone who lost someone close or was affected by this pandemic. In my times of truly significant challenge, whether in negative 40-degree temperature in Kazakhstan, or trying to run a nonprofit organization while raising 2 kids, or just whenever anything feels uncertain, I recall that it's good to rejoice in our hard times, knowing that hard times produce endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. So honestly, my love for Albright and admiration for those I've been fortunate enough to connect with there make me undoubtedly sheepish to receive such distinction, but more wonderfully do give a moment to say thank you, and also just to simply say that I love you. I am so thankful, and I love the professors I had in the political science department while I was there. Tom Brogan, Eileen Langren, Bruce Auerbach, so many more. John Becken in the communications department, an interesting character. Adelaide Binger and Michael Ball, who helped me continue music and the love for that. Archie Perrin, who was also a great art history and German professor, but also the guy who I used to walk in on after he would have his radio show at WXAC. I followed him. Also Mindy Cohen, who's here today. My brother-in-law, Adam Lancer, Nicholas and Amanda Pagano, who are such dear friends and help us raise our kids pretty much out here in San Diego. My brother, Tyler Travitz, Nathan Pauls, Rob Lowry, Pat Lakin, my friends, Jackie Siegel, Chris Dierks, Adrian Chess, Eric Adair. I really could say too many people for this. My dearest friend, Daniel Rudy, who's here. My mother, who I owe all things good in life to from the start. And of course, my very true love, Jennifer, who I met at Albright. I love you. So the greatest part of my time at Albright is that I have so many good friends who inspire me and are just good people. Whether they're educators or scientists or designers or anything, they are folks who live with compassion and kindness. I try to do that same in my work, building community in the nonprofit sphere. But even this award, an achievement for a young age, and I'm an older young age, I'm not necessarily taking this as an award, but as an encouragement to keep acting with compassion and kindness in the work we do and seek out, even when those times get hard. So I will keep doing that because of this recognition. I hope to honor you in that way. I love you all, and thank you very much. Congratulations to all the other recipients. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, those were amazing remarks. I mean, I love how you said live with compassion and kindness. Hard times produce endurance. Serving others is a calling that everyone can heed. Just very thoughtful remarks. So thank you, Andrew, and congratulations again. The next award is the Mary Frygood Class of 1949 Award. This award was recently renamed in recognition of a class of 1949 alumna and first alumni coordinator who tirelessly built relationships with the alumni body while helping to establish regional alumni organizations and increasing both contributions and goodwill at Albright. The Mary Frygood Class of 1949 Service to Alma Mater Award is presented to an Albright alum for outstanding service to Albright College. This year, we honor Thomas A. Chaves, Class of 1985. Thomas A. Chaves is the Associate Vice President for Advancement Operations at St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia. Prior to that, he served as the Associate Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations at Lehigh University for 9 years and led the traditional advancement services areas of information processing, reporting and analytics, prospect management, and research. He has also led the implementation of strategic talent management within Lehigh's advancement organization, as well as campaign management programs and initiatives. Chaves is passionate about bringing people together and the systems and processes to support the art and science of advancement. Chaves spent over 17 years at SunGard and SCT, working with over 100 higher education clients to implement and effectively use advancement software. He chaired the 2010 CASE Senior Advancement Services Conference, chaired the 2013 and 2014 CASE Summer Institute for Advancement Services, and was a member of the Banner Advancement Advisory Board. He is currently a member of the iModules Strategic Advisory Board, CASE Commission on Philanthropy, and works closely with other advancement services leaders in understanding the advancement software landscape. He completed serving as president of AASP in 2016 and has been on the board since 2008. Chaves' service and generosity to Albright spans many years of the college. He has served as an Albright trustee since 2018 and spent 6 years on the Alumni Association Board, serving as president from 2007 to 2009. So I know I'm in good company. He is a bronze member of the J. Warren Klein Society. Chaves has offered his time and talent as a volunteer advisor to Albright's development office and has served as a reunion committee member for the track and cross country teams, the Lion Diplomats, and the class of 1985's 5th, 20th, and 35th reunions. As a senior at Albright, Chaves was a founder of the Lion Diplomats and then served as the club's first advisor when he began work as the director of the annual fund. In addition to the Lion Diplomats, Chaves participated a great deal as a student on campus. He was a member of the choral ensemble, domino players, resident life staff, cross-country and track teams, and the Albrightian staff. He was a Jacob Albright Scholar and received the Gold A award. Chaves enjoys running marathons, completing running one per state in 2014 as part of his 50,000 miles at marathons in 50 states by age 50 goal. That's an incredible feat. He enjoys spending time with his family, including 3 grandchildren. He holds a BA from Albright and an MS in Business Administration from Penn State. Tom, we are honored to award you the Mary Frygood Class of 1949 Service to Alma Mater Award. Would you like to say a few words?
Sean, thank you so much. And I know we're in a virtual world and want to make sure people don't know that was photoshopped in. There is a real award, as Andrew shared as well. So I did want to show that. But thank you, Sean, and the Alumni Association for honoring me with the Mary Frygood 49 Service to Alma Mater Award. And to all the other award recipients tonight, to Tiff, to Ben, Reverend Johnson, William Young, and Andrew Holitz, thank you for your service and congratulations on your accomplishments. I had the privilege of knowing and working with Mary Frygood over the years, and am so humbled to be a recipient of this award in her memory and in her name. And as I reflect on my 40 years of being associated with Albright, with the many memories, people, meetings, and events, the questions that comes to my mind is, why Albright? Why did I choose Albright back in 1980? Some would say it was because it was one of the first listed college in the Barron's College book. And I'll admit that my first night on campus with a new cross-country teammate, Jeff Troutman, whose dad was also a minister and couldn't report to campus on Sunday, that first night, I felt unsure, I felt lonely, and wondering what was in store. But coaches Gene Shirk and Don Gottschall, along with other teammates led by senior Frank Marecki, took me and other freshmen under their wing and partnered with me to become part of what Albright is, but yet allowed me to make it my own experience as well. By the end of cross-country camp, I could tell that Albright was someplace special. Fast forward throughout my college careers and the interaction with many faculty and my involvement in theater, sports, being an RA, and being part of the initial Lion Diplomats, again, I ask, why did I engage in what I did at Albright? All of these activities allowed for me to blossom in my own way, time, and path to become someone who realized that what is important to me is when as I am able to make Albright a better place for others. Sure, have some fun and grow along the way, but how does my effort, my actions, and my support help a greater community become better and stronger? The people who I met and became friends with along the way, who shared in these experiences, some of which are here tonight: Daryl McCullough, Laura Karp, Steve Pottinger, Peter Steinberg, Nancy Plum, Greg Altier, Bonnie Sweet, Doug Chris, and so many others. It was quite the 4 years. And post-graduation, I had the privilege of coming back to work for Albright as a fundraiser, and I started to see the inner workings of Albright and the bigger picture of what a college, especially Albright, is all about. And so why did I work at Albright? Partnering more with faculty and staff like Dale Yoder, Bill Marlowe, Anna Doris Shirk, Archie Perrin, Barbara Fahey, Karen Campbell, Donna Van Bodegraven, who's here tonight, all Albright veterans, and to share the Albright story with thousands of alumni in an effort to gain their support was a great exposure and opportunity to be part of advancing the college through engagement and philanthropy for the next and future generations. Post working at Albright, I stayed involved with class reunions, alumni association, other ad hoc committees, and now have the privilege of serving and being on the board of trustees. So again, why Albright? Why did I choose to spend my time, talent, and treasure for Albright? All of these opportunities allowed me to be able to provide and support the college as it educates students of today to make the world a better place tomorrow. Working with people like Nancy and Norm Detra, Neil and Dottie Hill, Ken and Mary Frygood, Mike Reese, Raya Vardaxis, Scott Keaton, Ron Sheese, and so many others reminds me of all who also give of their time and give back in so many ways. A saying that is attributed to many and resonates with me often is, we do not inherit the world from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. My choosing Albright over the last 40 years was and is a way for me to learn how to give back so that others can benefit from the vision and mission of Albright College that is grounded in integrity, curiosity, connection, and resilience. And they in turn can contribute to a society that desperately needs educated people to keep us moving forward. And so thank you to all who have supported me through this journey, and to those family, friends, and colleagues joining me tonight. To my family out there, my father-in-law Norm Plopper and my sister-in-law Carol, my brother Mark and his family, my mom and her partner Jim, my daughter Sarah, her husband Seth, and my 3 fabulous grandkids, Finley, Reed, and Maura. I am so blessed by all of you. My wife, and best friend Terry, who is beside me and behind me every step of the way. And although she is technically a Lion due to her Penn State affiliation, she has earned being an Albright Lion with her unwavering support over the last 25 years. And so fitting to the award, let me close with a chorus of our alma mater. Hail, hail, the red and the white, hail alma mater with a cheer. With eyes bright and glancing, the red and white advancing, we'll sing the praise of alma mater dear. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you for that musical rendition at the end. I wasn't expecting that, but that was that was beautiful, and we certainly love you as well. And of course, Terry can be an honorary Albright Lion. And I would just say we are so fortunate to have you as part of our family. And I really love that quote. I'll just say it again because it kind of put things into perspective for me. When you said, you know, we do not inherit the world from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children, right? And it just kind of talks about, you know, the inherent responsibility we all have. It kind of goes back to that service too that both you and Andrew were talking about. So thank you again, Tom, for those really kind remarks, and congratulations once again. Really happy to honor you this evening. Our next award is the Distinguished Alumni Award. This award is presented for outstanding service and accomplishment in at least one of the following areas: community, state, nation, church, profession, academic, and/or service organizations. This year, we are fortunate to have 3 recipients. Our first recipient is Ben Franco, a member of the class of 2006. Ben Franco is the owner of Wine Themes, a company focused on helping small family-run wineries throughout the US find an audience in Pennsylvania. Franco is also the founder and former owner of Wine Down Cafe and Wine Bar, the first and only wine-focused restaurant bar in Berks County. Franco's passion for wine also drove him to pursue many advanced accreditations, including the Court of Master Sommeliers Level 2 and the Society of Wine Educators Certified Specialist of Wine. Franco's career path has led him through many industries via various different roles held, including field service engineer, controls technician, and process engineer. Franco worked for several of Berks County's leading corporations, such as Danacorp Technologies and Arrow International. Ben has served as an Albright trustee since 2020. In 2018, he hosted a welcome event for President Fetcher at Wine Down and has participated in Albright alumni networking events such as Albright on the Avenue and in the Business Leaders Forum and Alumni Business Fair. Franco graduated from Lincoln Technical Institute with a degree in specialized electronics technology. After completing undergraduate work towards an engineering degree, Franco switched focus and completed his BA in business administration at Albright College in 2006 through Albright's degree completion program. You might know of it now as the School of Professional Studies. Congratulations, Ben. Would you like to say a few words?
First off, very unfair to go after Andrew and Tom, just throwing it out there. But thank you, Sean. Thank you, President Fetro, and thank you to the Albright Alumni Association Committee for this distinguished honor. My Albright experience was a bit different than some of my peers here. I was in the degree completion program, as you said, now the School of Professional Studies. So we were kind of housed in a different area and things went a little bit differently, but it was a wonderful experience just as well. High school, I graduated from a technical school, as you said, and I reached a peak in my career. I realized that I needed more education. I started taking courses at a local community college as well as taking engineering courses at another school and realized that there was no light at the end of the tunnel. And there just seemed to be no way to complete my degree. I realized that a business degree along with my technical background seemed to be a better decision for me. At that moment, I stepped on campus at Albright and spoke with admissions counselors and folks there. Things seemed different. At some of those other schools, I always felt like a little bit of a number. I never felt as an individual. Albright had a way of making you feel as a person, an individual, and I am grateful for that. I'm not sure if I would have stuck with it to complete my degree if I didn't have that experience. My entrepreneurial fire was lit along the way, but it was set ablaze during a project that some may be familiar with, but it was called the Capstone Project. It was basically where they took things in our business acumen and took everything that we have learned and put it all together to develop a fictitious business and to develop a business plan. And that set my fire ablaze like, oh, this is something I can do. A big thank you to all the professors along the way that helped shape all of our success and futures. A big thank you to my wife, and a big thank you to my family, and a big thank you to the Board of Trustees as well for welcoming me as a board member. I'm truly honored to be among former and present winners of this award. Thank you again to the Alumni Association, to those behind the scenes putting all this together. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ben. I'm sure a lot of us on this call would agree that Albright doesn't treat you as a number, and that was probably one of the deciding factors, right, to get us to come to Albright, especially because, as you mentioned, like that individualized attention. So thank you for sharing that. I'm jealous of your wine bar and your wine stack behind you. But thank you again, and congratulations on this recognition. Very well deserved. Our second recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award is Reverend Robert L. Johnson, class of 1991. Reverend Robert L. Johnson is a native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He is a graduate of Bach Technical High School in South Philadelphia and earned an Associate of Arts degree from Morristown College in Morristown, Tennessee in 1988. Johnson's drive for excellence took him to Albright, where he completed a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1991. From Albright, God led him to the United Theological Seminary in Dayton, Ohio, where in 1995, he was blessed to receive his Master of Divinity degree. While in Dayton, he also served as pastor to Residence Park United Methodist Church from 1992 to 1995. After completion of his seminary education, Johnson was appointed to Simpson Fletcher United Methodist Church in West Philadelphia. Under his leadership, God blessed a church with outstanding growth, both spiritually and in membership. Johnson served as pastor of Simpson Fletcher for 14 years, from 1995 to 2009, and Mount Zion United Methodist Church in North Philadelphia for 5 years, 2009 to 2014. He is currently the senior pastor of historic Tinley Temple United Methodist Church in South Philadelphia. Johnson's ministry has focused on at-risk youth in the Philadelphia area. He helped to create low-cost summer camps, choirs, drama ministries, after-school programs, community partnerships to help at-risk youth gain employment, and many other programs that have helped inner-city youth to reach their full potential. Johnson was recently appointed by Governor Tom Wolf to serve on the PA Commission on Redistricting. He also serves on the Governor's Committee for Nonprofit and Community Partnerships. In addition to his work for the Commonwealth, Johnson is a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, Inc., the Black United Methodist Preachers, the Black Empowerment Group, the NAACP, and the Interdenominational Pastors Alliance. As a student at Albright, Johnson was involved in the Domino Players, Albright Unity, and the African American Society. He served as baccalaureate speaker in 2018. Johnson is married to Sharnita Ziegler Johnson, PhD, class of 1992, who is a vital part of his ministry. They have two wonderful children, Sharena Carey and Robert James. Johnson's favorite scripture is, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Congratulations on your Albright Distinguished Alumni Award, Reverend Johnson. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you so much to the Alumni Association and, of course, to Dr. Fetro. As I think about this award, I need to just say that Albright was so crucial in who I am becoming right now. At Albright, it was the place where I have got my roar, so to speak. It was the place where I learned to have my voice. It was the place where I learned to stand. I try to say to my wife, Dr. Sharnita Johnson, that Albright was the place where I went from a cub to growing my mane. And so it was the place where I learned how to reach and get my goals and understand that this was all part of God's plan for my life. I grew at Albright. I grew to understanding that even in the movie Lion King with Pride Rock, Albright was the place that helped me go to that Pride Rock moment. And it was a place where inner city kid like me from South Philadelphia could come to a place like Albright and be accepted and to be nurtured. It was a place where I learned diversity and a place where I learned how to be a better person. Albright was the place that solidified my place in ministry. with people like the late Bill Marlowe and people like Dr. Greenfield and others who have Bill King and Sidney King and others who just helped me to articulate and understand how to get my voice. And so my voice that I received at Albright was a voice of justice. It was a voice of helping other people. It was a voice that said, if this young man could come to a place like Albright and get a degree, then it could be something where I can help other young people go to a place like Albright and see their dreams come to pass. And so at Albright, I made friends like Christopher Nagel, like Tifina Archie, like Danny Gilmore. And of course, it is the place where I met my lovely and wonderful wife, Dr. Sharnita Johnson. It was a place where we laughed, where we joked, where we cried, but it was also a place where we grew. And so it is important to me that Albright be the place where people like me and people like others who never thought they had a chance find a place where they can find their roar, where they can find their pride rock, where they can lead a pack and go to where they need to go. Albright was a springboard. It was not a landing place as much as it was as a springboard place to the next phase of the journey. And if anything, I thank Albright and I thank that place from the bowling alley, which is no longer there, to the late Lynn Morrow and the Domino Players, to the band that I played in. I only played one drum. I only played one drum in the band for the band for football games. It was a place where I met my very best friend, Chris Nagel. And it was a place where I've learned how to roar. And so with that roar, I want to leave you with this. The one thing that Albright taught me the most was probably a quote from Dr. King. And Dr. Martin Luther King said, the ultimate measure of a person is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in moments of challenge and controversy. And I thank you, Albright, for helping me to stand in these moments of challenge and controversy and be the leader that I am today. So many thank yous real quickly to Charles and Ruby Ziegler, my mother and father-in-law, to all of my sister-in-laws. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much to my great friend, the Reverend Dr. John Duckworth. Thank you so much, John. He has been an inspiration to me. But I want to thank you so much for instilling me the way that higher education can move forward. And because you did that for us, for me and my wife, our children now are learning the benefits of higher education. So listen, Albright, just take it from me. If there's anyone in this room who's appreciative to what this college has meant to anyone, it is me, because you taught me how to stand during moments of challenge and controversy. Thank you so much. And Dr. Fetro, you're doing a great job. And I want to say, keep up the good work. Hail our alma mater. Thank you.
Wow. Love it. A lot to unpack there, right? Like your baccalaureate speech in 2018. Your remarks and energy are inspiring. As a kid of the 90s, Lion King is still my favorite movie. So I love all the Pride Rock references and seeing a bunch of chats about how, that phrase, Albright is the place I got my roar. Agree with you, Tiff. I think that should be on a t-shirt. I think that's a really good phrase. So we probably need to get on that. But thank you for those kind, sincere, and really inspiring remarks, Reverend Johnson. The third recipient of Albright's Distinguished Alumni Award is William G. Young, class of 1976. William G. Young is a technical advisor at DynCorp International Global Consulting Services and former adjunct policy analyst at the RAND Corporation, where he specialized in research and public policy in counterterrorism and intelligence community. Prior to his retirement in 2011, Young spent more than 31 years managing and leading intelligence collection operations for the National Clandestine Service. He spent most of his career in the Middle East and South Asia, working on counterterrorism, counterinsurgency, and counterproliferation issues. William also served in the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, ODNI, as the intelligence community's mission manager for Yemen and Somalia, and as the National Intelligence Manager for Yemen. Prior to his work for the ODNI, he was the director of the Operations Technology Office at the CIA. A skilled negotiator, writer, and public speaker, William has a long history of interactions with the White House and other senior policymakers, Congress, and the United States military. He speaks fluent Arabic and has substantive knowledge of the oil industry in the Middle East. His publications have appeared in Newsweek, USA Today, and US News and World Report. While a student at Albright College, William served as Sergeant at Arms of the Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity. He graduated in 1976 with a Bachelor of Arts degree, majoring in history. From Albright, he went on to New York University, where he obtained a Master of Arts degree in political science, and then to Columbia University, where he earned a Master of Philosophy degree in political science. Unfortunately, Bill is unable to join us this evening, but he has prepared a few words for me to share. These are in Bill's own words. I'm honored to have been selected as one of Albright College's distinguished alumni this year. Unfortunately, however, I will be unable to attend the ceremony in April. I expect to still be in Saudi Arabia, where I'm currently living and working. This moment, though, does give me an opportunity to say that my years at Albright prepared me well for my graduate years at NYU and Columbia, as well as for the 31-year career I had in government and the second career I had at the RAND Corporation, a nonprofit public interest think tank in Washington, D.C. The substantive knowledge I've gained from the classes in history and political science at Albright provided a solid foundation on which to build. I remember them to this day. The writing, public speaking, and critical thinking skills I learned in those classes at Albright, however, were the most important. I remember wondering and complaining about why I had to take a public speaking class as a history major. I could not have been more wrong. It proved essential, making me a much better manager and leader. In similar fashion, the liberal arts focus of the college made me a much more open and well-rounded person, open to new ideas and different ways of thinking. These traits, I think, are key to understanding tolerance and the innovation that is necessary to remaining competitive in today's world. I trust that the college's liberal arts curriculum continues to focus on these essential points of learning. They are sorely needed in both the public and private sectors today. Thank you, Bill, for those prepared remarks. Thank you for all your service to our country and your amazing distinguished career. We wish you were here with us, but we certainly send our warmest congratulations overseas to you, and hopefully we'll see you on Albright's campus at some point in the future. All right. Our last award this evening is the time-honored Jacob Albright Award. The Jacob Albright Award is presented to alumni who have used their liberal arts education to its greatest potential, thereby making outstanding contributions to the Albright College community, their profession, and society. And this recipient certainly has done all three. This is the highest honor bestowed upon an Albright graduate. This year, we have the pleasure and the honor of recognizing Dr. Tifina Archie, class of 1992, for this award. Dr. Tifina, as most of us know her name by Tiff, Archie, class of 1992, received a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and Sociology from Albright College and a doctorate in Sociology from Temple University, where she was awarded a Future Faculty Fellowship. A lifelong learner, she also attended the Management Development Program at Harvard University's Graduate School of Education and received Temple University's Graduate Certificate in Diversity Leadership, a collaboration between the Office of Institutional Diversity, Equity, Advocacy, and Leadership, also known as IDEAL, and the College of Education and Human Development. In 1994, Archie began working in the Ronald McNair Faculty and Training Program, preparing undergraduates for graduate school, where she remained until she joined the Albright community in 1999 as the Director of Academic Support, Disability Support, and Minority Retention. She was promoted to Assistant Academic Dean in 2001, and in this capacity, she implemented the still utilized early warning system to aid in the identification and retention of at-risk students. In 2007, Archie became the Director of Faculty Recruitment and Retention in Temple University's newly formed Office of Multicultural Affairs, later renamed the Office of IDEAL. After 8 years in that capacity, she was promoted to Assistant Vice President in the Office of IDEAL and currently oversees diversity and inclusion initiatives for the campus community. She also teaches courses including Introduction to Sociology, American Ethnicity, Race and Racism, Race, Class, and Gender, Statistics, and Diversity Issues in Higher Education. Archie is committed to advancing the ideals of social justice through mentoring, program development, service, teaching, training, and consulting. Her consulting clients include the Philadelphia Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society, the Mann Music Center, and the Barnes Foundation. Archie is involved in a number of professional organizations, including the Association of Black Women in Higher Education, of which she served 2 terms as president of the Philadelphia chapter, the National Association for Multicultural Education, the Pennsylvania Association for Multicultural Education, the National Association of Diversity Officers in Higher Education, the Pennsylvania Association for Liaisons and Officers of Multicultural Affairs, and is on the advisory board of the PD Green program, which provides academic support for incarcerated and previously incarcerated people. She was the 2010 recipient of the Outstanding Leader in Education Award presented by the Association of Black Women in Higher Education. Archie has served as an Albright trustee since 2017 and is currently vice chair. Prior to that, she was also a member of the Alumni Association Board, volunteering for alumni activities including homecoming, move-in day, and alumni fundraising. She is a member of the Society of Black Alumni, the 1856 Legacy Society, and has been a speaker for the Women's Leadership Conference in 2018 and the Tapestry of Hope, Unity of Spirit, Past, Present, Future, an interfaith, intercultural service of celebration highlighting Albright's commitment to diversity and inclusion. Archie has assisted in planning her class's 10th and 25th reunions, as well as a reunion for all peer orientation people, POPs. While an Albright employee, Archie volunteered her time as an advisor for the African American Society, Club Mode, and the Muslim Students Association. Archie was a highly active student on campus, participating in student government, Lion Diplomats, Judiciary Community Standards Board, Day Students Association, and Albright Unity. She was also a POP, Jacob Albright Scholar, and a Gold A Award winner. In her free time, she enjoys watching sports, volunteering in her community, spending time with her family, and traveling. Congratulations, Dr. Archie. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you so much. I am honored and incredibly humbled to receive this award. So thank you to the Alumni Association, the Alumni Relations Office, and President Fetro, not only for your work on this event, but the work that you do throughout the year. And thank you, Sean, for the kind words. I wanted to spend my time this evening sharing the ways in which all roads and the journey that is my life lead to Albright, which is quite ironic given that Albright was not my first college choice. Not sure it was my second, more likely than not, it was my safety school. I was born and raised in Reading, and the messaging I heard my entire life was that Albright was not for people like me. It wasn't for kids from Reading High. It wasn't for Black kids. And given it was a United Methodist school, it surely wasn't for Muslim kids. Nevertheless, I came for an overnight program in part because a few of my friends from my high school were attending, but mainly because I thought it'd be really cool to have an overnight college experience. And when I got here, I had more fun than I could have ever imagined, and I felt very much at home, almost immediately on stepping foot on campus. So Albright felt like it was a place where a Black Muslim girl from Reading, PA, can not only survive, but thrive. I loved everything. I loved the people, the academics, the campus. I even loved the cafeteria food. And I realized before the weekend was up that this was where I wanted to spend my college career. And that one decision to attend the overnight would chart the course of my life. It was at Albright where I met my best friend, and you've heard her name a couple of times tonight, Dr. Sharnita Ziegler Johnson. We met on the first day of orientation. I won't tell you how we met. It's a funny story. And we've been pretty much inseparable ever since. And Nita's been in my corner. So, but not only did I meet my bestie at Albright, all of my significant friendships have been connected to Albright. So I think finally of those nights outside court with Nita and Rob and Chris and Victor and Danny, just hanging out, enjoying college life. Many of my social justice accomplices, as I like to call them, are Albrightians. My fellow foodie who hits all the new restaurants with me is an Albrightian. My international travel roadie, Silver, a former student of mine, is an Albrightian. I also strengthened my voice at Albright, my ability to speak up for what is right, fair, and just. Admittedly, part of that experience was the racial strife that we were experiencing in the world, such as the Rodney King beating. There was issues on campus as well, but my involvement in Albright Unity, a group of students from all walks of life committed to racial equity, put me squarely on the path of social justice. That path took me to graduate school at Temple University, where during my second year, I was recruited to work in the Ronald McNair program, which prepared students like me, first generation underrepresented students, for graduate school. I didn't need the job as I had a fellowship which covered all my expenses, but I couldn't say no to Ched Dorman, who had been the director of multicultural affairs during my senior year at Albright and was the newly hired director of the program. And so under Dr. Dorman's leadership, I developed my skills in the field of diversity, equity, inclusion, and access. So again, my connection to Albright. As I neared the completion of my doctorate and while contemplating my next move, I received a call from Dr. Ronald Green, who at that time was the dean of Albright College and one of my former psychology professors, asking me if I'd be interested in a 9-month position. I accepted with the clear intention of staying only 9 months. Well, 9 months turned into 9 years. So in that time, I completed my dissertation, and when I needed an additional committee member, again, I looked for an Albright connection. Dr. Brenda Ingram Wallace joined my committee, and her guidance and mentorship helped me over the final hurdle. This is a relationship, as almost all of my Albright relationships, that continues today. So in those 9 years, I learned skills that were proven valuable in my life, and I was content at Albright. Saw myself staying for a very long time, possibly my career. So as you know, folks at Albright stay 20, 30 years, and I thought I'd be one of those folks. But again, it was an Albright connection that pulled me away. When Rhonda Brown, class of '83, she was the former dean of students at Albright, recruited me to be a part of her team at Temple University, which at this time also included Ched Dorman. And we were tasked with leading diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. It was and continues to be my dream job, and I'm now blessed to be leading the team. Albright has truly given me so much: friends, mentors, cherished memories, opportunities that I could have never imagined, and I will forever be grateful. It's the reason why I serve Albright. It's my tiny, tiny way of giving back. And so I often ask myself what my life would have been like had I not attended that overnight program. And in all the scenarios that have played out in my mind, none of them have come close to what the Albright experience has done for me. So in accepting this award, I vow to continue working to forever be worthy of it. I want to dedicate this award to my parents who have shown me unconditional love and support. It was their voices who told me I could do and be anything I wanted to, and I'm truly blessed to be their daughter. I want to end by thanking my family and friends here tonight and congratulating all the awardees and wish you continued success in all that you do. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Tiff. I think we can all agree that we are so thankful that you did that overnight program and changed your mind about Albright. I've had the pleasure of working with Tiff on the Alumni Outreach Committee when we both were on the Alumni Association board. And it was just such a pleasure. Every meeting we were in, Tiff would always kind of make us think differently and comprehensively about the problems we tackled. So just so honored that you're here with us tonight and we can present you with this award. And I also loved all the Albright connections you kind of interweaved throughout your remarks. It's just amazing to kind of see how Albright, right, is just so connected in your life. So thank you again, Dr. Archie. Congratulations on this well-deserved award. So let's hear one final round of applause for our honorees this evening. On behalf of the Alumni Association in Albright College, I'd like to offer congratulations once more to each of our distinguished award recipients this evening. I don't know about you, but every time we go to these awards, I just feel inspired. And right now I'm feeling really inspired as well. It's always nice to hear of all the incredible things Albrightines are doing in our communities, in their careers and their professions, and at Albright. I'd like to also thank all of you in our audience who have joined us to celebrate our winners. As alumni and friends of Albright, you are part of a unique community of scholars and learners. And we really, really sincerely appreciate all that you do in support of Albright